This week on Weekly News, we'll take a look at changes concerning workman's comp.
We'll also take a look at Governor Henry's education initiative.
This and more coming up on Weekly News. Please stay with us.
From the campus of East Central University, welcome to the Weekly News with David Emmons, Jennifer McMahan-Curliss, Jeremy Stout with sports, and Shonda Holmes, serving East Central, Ada, and the surrounding community. Recorded live from ECU Studios, this is the Weekly News.
Hello, I'm David Emmons.
And I'm Jennifer McMahan-Curliss. Welcome to this edition of Weekly News.
Governor Brad Henry is pushing for big changes in Oklahoma's educational system with his Achieving Classroom Excellence, or ACE, initiative. The initiative proposes a $144 million increase to the state's budget for common education. Henry says education must be funded before all else, giving schools the resources needed to raise teacher pay to the regional average and fund full-day kindergarten. ACE will also increase school accountability and student achievement measures to ensure Oklahomans are getting the most out of their tax dollars. Henry says ACE's legislative support should expedite final approval of this measure. Sulphur Public Schools' new approach to drug testing will ensure students who are involved in extracurricular activities are drug-free. Here's Jennifer McMahan-Curliss with more.
Sulphur Public Schools Board of Education in early March to have hair follicle testing for students 7th grade and up. Any student involved in extracurricular activities will have to comply with the testing. Sulphur Public Schools Superintendent Keith E. Foreman said the measure is a huge commitment.
We've got a little controversy here lately because we're planning on using the hair follicle testing, and the hair follicle testing can last up to 7 months, and you have to give students an opportunity to completely get the drugs out of their system before you can penalize them for the next school year. So that's become kind of an issue here lately, but we've also had a problem with most schools in Oklahoma that do drug testing use the a urine test, and a urine test can be flushed out of your system pretty quick. So we could do the urine test and come up with 100% of our kids don't use drugs, and that'd be wonderful, but we wouldn't really be addressing the problems that we think that we may have.
The cost of the hair follicle testing will prove that Sulphur Public Schools is serious about its drug-free policy.
The initial test is going to cost us $22,500. And the random test after that, any follow-up test, that's what probably would cost us money. What we had thought about doing was using the hair follicle test to begin the school year, which is going to be $22,000, and spend about $6,000 for random urine tests during the year, unannounced random tests.
The state champion Sulphur Bulldogs is setting a standard for drug-free policy. For Weekly News, this is Jennifer McMahan-Curliss.
Earlier this week, counterfeit checks were written to a local grocery store. The Apple Market received 2 checks totaling over $700. These checks were tagged and sent to the Pontotoc County Detective Division. At this time, no arrests have been made. The manager of Apple Market, Carolyn Hart, says cashing checks at Apple Market will be more difficult now.
Universities across the country are having serious problems with students abusing alcohol and showing violent behavior toward others. Grant money offered by the United States government helps many universities like East Central set up programs for institutional development. The United States Department of Education currently has a grant competition to prevent high-risk drinking or violent behavior among college students. 20 awards are available and amounts range anywhere from $100,000 to $150,000. After awarded to a university, the grant is designed to set up prevention strategies, which use student input and participation. While restrictions on pseudoephedrine have caused the number of meth labs in Oklahoma to drop, the remaining labs are still a threat to our young people. Here's Anthony Kanedy with more.
Are your children safe from the influence of drugs while they're at school? Last December in Pontotoc County, a warrant was issued for the arrest of Perry Gouldy for the manufacturing of methamphetamines within 2,000 feet of a school. Gouldy has since been detained in a Texas prison for a similar charge. But the question of the student's safety still remains. Ada Middle School Principal David Smith had this to say regarding the welfare of the students.
In situations like that, if we suspect something like that's going on in the neighborhood, I have and do work with the police department quite regularly. I would contact the police department, probably talk with the juvenile officer, juvenile detective, and I would tell him my suspicions, and I am certain that they would keep an eye on that particular residence, and if there was anything that, that they saw that was out of line, that they would act on it quickly.
With schools doing all they can to protect the well-being of their students, it is important to remember that the biggest influences on a child's actions are the parents. And for the Weekly News, this is Anthony Kanedy.
The Oklahoma House of Representatives passed a bill in early March which will completely change the current workman's compensation system. The current system is one of the most expensive in the nation, according to the Insurance Journal. Changes will include an increase in death benefits for a surviving spouse from $20,000 to $100,000 and raise a surviving child's death benefit from $5,000 to $25,000. Burial benefits will increase from $5,000 to $10,000, while disfigurement compensation will rise from $20,000 to $50,000. In 2002, Oklahoma companies reported the lowest rate of workplace injuries in 20 years. However, the state's injury rate is still slightly higher than the national average. House Bill 2046, if passed by the state Senate, will help injured workers receive faster compensation and quick medical treatment. Coming up, we'll take a look at how the ECU Foundation helps students with tuition expenses. Stay with us. The Native American Research Center for Health is taking applications for a summer undergraduate research program for Native American students. The program is being held at the University of Health Sciences Center. The purpose of the research program is to encourage Native Americans to be more interested in the science or medical fields. Based on applications, one person from the Cherokee, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Muskogee, Creek, and Seminole nations will be chosen to participate in the 9-week research experience. Applicants must be Native American and must have completed 2 years of undergraduate study with a basic science major. Applicants should also be currently enrolled in an educational program leading to an undergraduate degree and have a career goal of working in a health field. Applications are due tomorrow, April 1st, and can be found at www.ouhsc.edu.
Wedding bells will soon be ringing on the campus of East Central University as Natasha Beecham and Scott Eastep, winners of the Cupid's Wedding Giveaway, prepare to walk the aisle. The contest was promoted by KYKC Studios and several Ada businesses such as Lillian's Bridal, Black's Men and Ladies Wear, Classic Cakes, and the Renaissance Salon. The wedding and reception will be coordinated by the ECU's retail merchandising class, and vows will be exchanged at the ECU Chapel on April 21st. The wedding package is valued at $6,000 and includes everything from the tanning and teeth whitening to a bridal gown, tuxedos, and even limo services.
Pastors in Ada who work together to benefit the community, but many people are unaware of their effect on the city. Coy Cypert has more information.
In Ada, there are over 40 different churches, from the large to the small, old and the new. But one thing many of these churches have in common is a group called the Ministerial Alliance. I talked to the president and spokesperson, Mickey Keith, to find out how this group affects the city of Ada.
The Ada Area Christian Ministerial Alliance is technically what we're called. I'm the president this year of the group, and it serves the purpose of bringing ministers together and bringing churches together so that we can work together in the community, because the Bible says that two are better than one, and there's strength in numbers. There's synergy that's released in unity. And so the Ministerial Alliance is a unique organization in Ada in that there's a lot of camaraderie and unity among ministers. You don't always see that in every community. We're very active with area agencies. We're working with agencies that help children, agencies that help the indigent, agencies like Salvation Army and Red Cross, and those agencies, we're very active and involved with them. Also, we do something that a lot of people are not aware of, and that's benevolence help. We have a program established whereby homeless people can get shelter. And in a city like Ada, as small as Ada is, and as rural as Ada is, you don't really think of there being homeless people because you don't see them on the streets. You don't see them lying on gutters or something. And so we help them. We help transits, people who are coming through Ada who don't have a place to stay. The Ministerial Alliance contributes to helping them. And so we help the hungry and the needy and people who don't have a place to stay. And there's an old saying that says, a rising tide floats all ships. And that's true. When the tide comes in, not only does my ship go up, but your ship goes up. And so if one church is having a real strong spiritual renewal, people are coming to know Christ, then it's not only going to bless my church, but it's going to bless every other church in the community.
Other events that the Ministerial Alliance participate in include a citywide Thanksgiving dinner, Easter celebrations, and a baccalaureate ceremony for Ada High School. So it seems that the Ministerial Alliance is a great influence on the community and its citizens. For the Weekly News, I'm Coy Cypert.
Students of East Central University's Political Science Honorary Society, Pi Sigma Alpha, are currently working on a community involvement project in the Hammond Heights area of Ada. The chapter received a $1,300 grant from the National Pi Sigma Alpha chapter, and $1,000 is going towards this week of work. Throughout the Hammond Heights neighborhood, there are drainage areas covered by cattle guards. 2 of these drains are less than 100 yards from the neighborhood recreation area, making it unsafe for children. Residents of Hammond Heights have asked the group for a new kitchen floor, a new front porch, some flowers in the front yard, and to clean up. Graduate school is a goal many students strive for. The McNair Scholars Program at ECU helps students achieve this goal. Here's Jarrod Morse to tell us more.
The McNair Scholars Program at East Central University aids exceptional students who wish to attend graduate school to better their chances of getting a successful job in the future.
The McNair Scholars Program is named for Ronald McNair, who was the astronaut killed in the Challenger explosion. And Dr. McNair had a doctorate in physics. So after his death, Congress decided to have a program in his honor. So this program started in 1989 across the United States with just 13 programs. Then in 1991, we were able to write the first grant here at East Central for McNair, and we were funded. So from 91 to 98, we were the only program in Oklahoma, so we were really thrilled about that. But the program itself is for math and science majors with very high GPAs. And the whole purpose of the program is Congress wanted low-income, first-generation college students to have the opportunity to go to graduate school. So when the program came about, it was set up just for that group of students, low-income, first-generation, or minority. So here at East Central, I have 24 students in the program. And when I lose students to graduation, the ones that go on to graduate school, then I add that number to the program in the fall, so therefore I keep 24, each year. But the main focus is just to get them finished here and get them into a graduate program, anywhere that they want to go. That's the main focus.
Reporting for the Weekly News, this is Jarrod Morse.
Coming up in sports, we'll look at ECU men's and women's tennis. Stay with us.
Jeremy, hasn't it been beautiful this week?
Oh, it sure has. And I bet you that football teams really have enjoyed their first week of spring practices. 2 area high school baseball teams are holding on to first place state ranking. Roth Tigers are on top of Class A, while the Latta Panthers are controlling Class 2A. Both clubs played this week. Roth lost a close one on Monday, losing to Bing 13-12. The Tigers were upset at home twice on Tuesday by Dell. Roth lost the first 8-5 and the second with a score of 19-5. Latta won big at home on Monday, beating Colgate 14-0. The Panthers were then defeated at home on Tuesday, losing to Silo 8-4. East Central's Lady Tigers softball team lost a pair of hard-fought games Tuesday in a 2 p.m. doubleheader against the University of Central Oklahoma Lady Broncos. Here's Vanessa Tidmore with more on the story.
In Game 1, the Lady Tigers failed to bring home the runs, leaving 6 runners stranded, coming away with only 1. The ladies were outstripped by UCO scoring, led by second baseman Lindsey Tripp, who pounded out the hits, going 6 for 8 on the day, with both a triple and a bases-empty home run in Game 1. The Lady Tigers lose Game 1, 3-2. Game 2 saw the Lady Tigers out-hit in the last inning of the 9-inning game. The Lady Tigers only came off a bunt single by right fielder Massey Brewer, who scored on 3 consecutive passed balls. The Lady Broncos stepped up to the plate in the 9th and hammered out a home run and a triple back-to-back. A second run off a passed ball brought the score to 3-1. The Lady Tigers were unable to retaliate and fell with 3 consecutive outs. Final score, ECU 1, UCO 3. Tuesday's losses bring the Lady Tigers season record to 24-9, with a 12-2 record in the Lone Star Conference. Reporting for the Weekly News, this is Vanessa Tidmore.
East Central Tiger baseball team took on Tarleton State University in a 4-game series on March 24th and 25th. The Tigers were hot right off the bat as they would blaze past Tarleton in Game 1, 16-4. However, the Tigers used up all their juice as they lost a close second game, 5-4. The Tigers finally put 2 wins together as they won Friday's game 7-0 and 4-2. This was the first time the Tigers got back-to-back wins since the 3rd and 4th games of the season. The 3 wins put ECU back into a winning percentage with a record of 15-14. Last week, the Conway High School senior parents held a donkey basketball game as a fundraiser. Here's Stephanie Johnson with more.
On Monday, March 28th, the Kanawha High School senior parents hosted a donkey basketball game to raise money for Senior Safe Night, a lock-in held after graduation. The participants consisted of juniors, seniors, and faculty. In order to shoot for the basket, they had to actually be on the donkey, which was a difficult task. The seniors and their parents sold tickets prior to the event costing $5. Tickets at the door the night of the game were $7. The event proved to be a success, drawing a large number of people. Reporting for Weekly News, this is Stephanie Johnson.
The East Central University men's tennis team played 2 matches on Saturday, March the 26th. The Tigers took on both Oklahoma Baptist University and Dallas Baptist University. In the opening match against OBU, East Central's Jose Paz defeated 6-1, 6-1 in number 1 singles. And number 2 singles, ECU's Quan Tran was a 6-2, 6-2 winner over Jarrod Haley. ECU went on to win the overall match 9-0. The Tigers were also perfect in their second match with Dallas Baptist University. Jack Audengren and Felipe Lopez led the way for the Tigers, each winning their respective matches in straight sets. The Tigers dominated DBU, winning 7-0. Coming up, Shonda will take a look at how to care for lawns this summer. Please stay with us.
April 22nd will be the 35th anniversary of Earth Day. The national holiday will be celebrated by many in the Ada area. Chairman of the Ada Recycling Coalition, Jarman Smith, said the program is doing an essay contest for area high schools. 3 winners are picked and given certificates, an Earth Day t-shirt, and cash prizes. First place receives $100 and second and third place get $50 each. Another event the program is having in celebration of Earth Day is a water festival. The festival will be located at East Central University and will be on April 21st. Smith and the Ada Recycling Coalition will have a booth at the festival with lots of information about recycling. With summer weather fast approaching, the thought of cutting grass is on many minds. Catherine Krause shows us the importance of caring for our lawn.
With the summer months approaching, the Oklahoma heat is rising, and homeowners are getting the itch to keep their lawn green. Lawn care expert Billy Krause will give us tips on keeping our lawn healthy during the summer.
We're going to talk about lawn care in Oklahoma and other hot places. The predominant grass in Oklahoma and other hot places is zoysia and Bermuda grasses. In some places, St. Augustine, which in Ada we don't have St. Augustine. We have predominantly zoysia and Bermuda. Bermuda is a hot season grass which requires little water, but it depends on how green you want to keep it and how fast you want it to grow, depending on the fertilizer you give it, the water you give it, and how much rainfall we get. Bermuda grows predominantly about 6 months a year, and then it dies out. In some cases, we want to overseed with ryegrass in the fall to keep the grass green and pretty all winter. If we do that, you have to can't be a conservationist because you have to water mostly all winter if we don't have a lot of rain, but you do get a lush green lawn all winter long. They do use some fescues in Oklahoma under shade trees because fescues and other grasses, it's a little bit too hot for it. So you'll see fescue grasses planted under shade areas and Bermuda grasses in the hot areas, which is pretty common. Bermuda grass and St. Augustine like a lot of nitrogen, so it's pretty easy and pretty inexpensive to fertilize it and keep it going. After they fertilize, if you water your fertilizer in and then water it again the next day, I usually say water it for the first 3 days really well to get it watered in, then you can start slacking back to your normal watering cycle on Bermuda grass, so maybe once a week, depending on how much rainfall we have and humidity. So sometimes you don't have to water a whole lot because we're blessed with rainfall here, but of course in the hot time of the year, you really have to sock it to it.
Reporting for the Weekly News, I'm Catherine Krause.
East Central University was recently listed as having one of the best programs in the nation for physics. The article published in the American Institute for Physics discussed various sizes and types of departments and the effects different departments have on students. ECU Dean of Mathematics and Science, Dr. Bruce Weems, says he and the rest of the physics department are very honored by the article. Weems says the reason for ECU's great physics department is because more importance is placed on teaching the students than on research. After 7 years of planning, work on the new cleat facility is finally coming to fruition. Tory McGee has the details on this multi-million-dollar training center.
The new Council on Law Enforcement Education and Training Center, also known as CLEAT, will certainly draw attention to Ada once it's completed. Economic developer Carleen Hill has details.
There's a $25 million training complex being built right now on the northwest side of Ada. It's on 360 acres, and it's going to be a very exciting addition to all of southeastern Oklahoma. There will be, at any one time, there will be approximately 120 people out there having training, and there'll be visitors coming. And so this will create a lot of activity, and we think that it will create a lot of opportunities to bring businesses related to law enforcement to the community. So Ada is really going to be recognized as the Center of Law Enforcement Training for Oklahoma.
Project Superintendent John Russell says Atlanta's general contractors and other subcontractors have been working hard, rain and shine, to complete this project. And with over 100 employees, they hope to be done by July of 2006. Reporting for the Weekly News, I'm Tory McGee.
Ultimate Car Wash on the corner of Arlington and Mississippi is working with the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. The car wash will be donating $1 for every automatic car wash during the entire month of March to the foundation. Employee of the Ultimate Car Wash, Kevin Lowe, says with the weather warming up, it has really helped the fundraiser. The car wash does not yet know how much money was raised, but will be making the donation at the 1st of April. Coming up, we'll take a look how one area church is encouraging local youth. Stay with us.
Ada Trinity Baptist Church is hosting the widely renowned Team Impact this weekend. The team of strongmen attempt incredible feats of strength as witnesses of their faith in Jesus Christ. Team spokesman John Fuller says the team will amaze the audience with their strength, all the while telling of their incredible transformation into believers in Christ. The event starts on Wednesday the 30th and runs nightly through the 3rd at 7 p.m. Trinity Baptist Church is located in Ada at 10th and Mississippi. This year, spring breakers who headed for the tip of Texas expected the usual: bikinis, beer, and beach volleyball. The week took a dangerous turn, however, when a state rivalry caused a giant uproar. Our own Amy Hughes tells us more about this beach bash.
Spring break is a week all college students look forward to. Some take ski trips while others plan vacations. However, students who spent their week on South Padre Island, Texas, found they had to protect themselves from more than just the sun.
And then the next thing we know is just beer bottles and cans are flying back and forth. We don't know what's going on. The sky was filled with beer bottles, and you see huge Jose Cuervo bottles just flying full of sand. And I'd see like people laying on the ground because their head were bleeding because they got hit with the head with a beer bottle. After that, then they finally decided to have a big fist fight, about 300 people in a fist fight.
On Tuesday, March 15th, during the week of Texas spring break in South Padre, an enormous riot broke out, leaving 10 people injured. The brawl was fueled by the age-old Texas-Oklahoma rivalry. We asked around campus opinions of the riot and the long-standing feud.
Well, when I heard about it, it didn't really surprise me. I mean, because, you know, OU and Texas always had a big thing, you know.
No, a rivalry shouldn't be strong enough to cause a riot.
I think it's silly that people are going to go off on spring break and start fighting because of a rivalry.
10 people went to the hospital in that riot.
It's fun on the field, and it's really exciting. It makes school more fun to have some sort of rivalry, but to actually, maybe I don't have as much school spirit as I should, but to actually want to fight somebody or burn something because they go to a different school, I think is ridiculous.
Because we're all adults and we should be able to act like it.
It was crazy, but I guess that's what happens whenever you get a bunch of Oklahomans and Texans in the same place.
Whatever, there's going to be fans in anything that take it to the extremes.
and we can't prevent that.
Hopefully in the future, these two states can keep the rivalry on the field and off the beach. Reporting for Weekly News, this is Amy Hughes.
Summer is just around the corner, and many people in the Ada area are dusting off window cooling units in preparation for the sweltering heat. If your unit is out of date and makes your electric bill sky high, then you might consider buying a new one. According to ebuyingguides.com, do not choose a model with too much cooling capacity. This will make the unit kick on and off, causing too much wear and tear. Consumers should also look for higher efficiency units. The higher the efficiency rate, the more efficient the model. As a result, your energy bill will be lower. Remember to measure the window to make sure you get the correct size. Speech development can be the key to all types of long-term communication success. New studies published from Georgetown University say children have the ability to distinguish speech sounds as early as 6 months. With this information, scientists now hope early detection tests will be developed to diagnose impending speech problems. By diagnosing future problems early on, doctors and speech therapists will be able to intervene and treat language difficulties during the earliest stages. Instead of going for the traditional full-length play, East Central University Theater Director Theo Peshahanov has decided to produce 2 one-act plays. Also, the audience can expect 2 sets instead of 1. Mr. Peshahanov says the reason for choosing to do the one act instead of a full-length play was the availability of such a large number of good material. The 2 one-acts chosen are both Pulitzer Prize winners. The first one-act is William Sayeran's Hello Out There. The show will feature the talents of Jeffrey Tritton and Vanessa Taylor with Katie and Will Krause in supporting roles. After the first one act ends, there will be a brief intermission so the sets may be changed before the curtain rises again. The second show of the night will be Edward Albee's Zoo Story. This show will feature the acting talents of Jarrod Ellis and Jeremiah Tidmore. Opening night for the productions will start on April 6th and run through the 9th. House will open at 6:30 with a curtain time of 8 p.m. All East Central students and faculty get in free with a valid ID. All other adults will be charged $3 for admission. That's all for this edition of Weekly News.
Thanks for watching.
The Weekly News is produced by mass communication students in the Communication Department at East Central University. Weekly News serves the East Central University campus. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of East Central University or the service provider.